Red Lobster has filed bankruptcy and started closing down locations. Like they just one day they announced it, the next day they're like, we closing locations. So our crew here in Dallas decided to go out to Red Lobster to make sure our kids at least has experienced some Cheddar Bay biscuits to say that they've had it. I wasn't in town to celebrate there, but Anthony said while there they met someone really interesting.
Yeah. So this is about just finding good people in unlikely places. So imagine this. Let me give you guys a scenario. So imagine you go to your job and your boss is like, yeah, we're going to close down in a couple weeks, right? And you still show up to work because you still want to get paid.
Did this location say they were closing soon? Or just one?
We didn't. They didn't know. They didn't have any idea.
They didn't know.
We asked the people that were there, like, when you guys are going to close, and they were like, we don't know yet.
Oh, okay.
So imagine, actually, you know what? Imagine you going to work, you know they're going to close, but you don't know when they're going to close, but you know you got to get paid. Well, how the hell, you know you're going to walk into work with that attitude, like you don't want to be here, you're not happy to be here, you know you're losing your job, you don't know what's next. There's so much uncertainty in your life where you need this job to maintain, and this server that we had the complete opposite of that. He was friendly, he was cheerful, he was cracking jokes, he was exciting, he was accommodating, he was everything that you would have wanted in a server. And we were sitting there
and y'all have 4 kids with y'all.
We had 4 kids. There was how many adults? 5 adults? 5 adults? 4 kids. We had a full table, kids is making noise, whatever. And he would just come on over, cry. He was also serving multiple tables at a time. It wasn't just us. Our table could have been 2-3 tables itself. But he was serving these other tables. He came back, checked on us, let us know, hey, just let you guys know we're low on staff for obvious reasons that I can't talk about. Obviously, they're closing. And he's like, we're trying to make it work. Just please be patient. I'll do what I can.
Oh, was Red Lobster full? Sorry. Just wondering.
It was actually pretty full.
Oh, okay.
It was actually pretty full. And he was like, yeah, I'm just, so he came and bought us some salads. Like, hey, guys, I'm going to give you guys this free salads because your food's going to take some time. I'm like, oh, we getting free salads? He's like, it's on the house. He's like, we won't be here too much longer, but it's on the house, right? He's cracking jokes, and we were just like, damn, this guy's really good this whole time. His name is Andrew, I believe. Yeah, Andrew. And he's really good and accommodating. Everybody's like, yo, like, what are you doing after this? He's like, I don't know. I'm going to have to figure it out. I got a wife and kids. I believe he said he was a vet, whatever. And I'm like, yo, if I could help this guy out, I could, right? And I would. So at the end of the conversation, we were all checking out. We gave him an amazing tip. He was super flexible with everything. And at the end of the night, I'm like, yo, you know what? I don't know if I got a role for you or not, but check us out on social media. Here's my phone number. Shoot me a text, and maybe we can figure something out. Maybe there's a role for you in our company, right? And I have no idea. He's like, what do you do? I'm like, oh, I own a cleaning business. I own some, I also own an education business where we help people, start their own cleaning businesses. Check out cleaningbusinessuniversity.com if you want to learn more about that. That's a quick commercial break. But I was like, I don't know what you could do, but you have a great personality. We might be able to figure something out. And now I say all that to say, I don't know where that's going to go, right? He might never hit me up, or he might. And then I still might not be able to know where he's going to go. But I'm like, he was a great person, great personality. And I'm like, we could figure something out. So I would say when you're thinking about business and business is all around us, sometimes you might be looking for people online. It might make sense to get offline and find good people online. I mean, in person. So that was the moral of that. So you might find good people in unlikely places. So always show up and do your best because you never know who's going to be watching you.
Yeah, in any capacity. I agree.
So now,
wherever you go.
I tweeted about this guy. The tweet went fake viral. I posted it on our social media.
Fake viral tweets.
Yeah, my tweets be going off. I posted on our social media page. People like, yo, that's a great idea, blah, blah, blah. And now we're talking about it on the podcast, right? You never know who's going to be watching you. So maybe I'll run into Andrew. I might go run up on him like, yo, you ain't hit me up yet. What's good? Like, you trying to work or not? Like, we can figure this out. Some space. But you never know who's watching. You never know what opportunities may be out there for you. So always show up in your best capacity when you can.
Yes.
That's the moral of that story.
All right. And our last lesson learned in our weeks of existing, I guess.
These last couple weeks.
Number 8 is businesses everywhere. So we have a child, and if you have a child, you probably know who Miss Rachel is. So there's a whole thing. We constantly have conversations about Miss Rachel, and then there's also somebody named Blippi and Mika. And the reason why we're talking about this is because we recently went to a Blippi and Mika show locally. And so we always like, why Miss Rachel don't got? Why Miss Rachel don't got? And even before then, during Christmas, I saw Amazon sent the book. Blippi has like merchandise, so tons of merch, like actual toys and books and all these things. Miss Rachel does not have this. So we were like, the comparison of the two. like trying to figure that out.
And then we went down a rabbit hole with him.
And for her, Miss Rachel was a school teacher that started doing videos online because she couldn't find, I think her son had like a speech issue. She couldn't find those type of videos, so she started doing it on her own. Husband is a musician on Broadway, composer, something like that he's done. So he does the music, she does the videos. If you look at her older videos, it's very like very baseline in her apartment, just getting it done. So that's who she is, and that's how she has started. To my knowledge, she still owns this Miss Rachel. I think it's called Songs for Littles or whatever. She still owns this YouTube or whatever. Now, Blippi on this other side, he also has somebody named Mika, and he goes to different locations, which is a bigger difference from Miss Rachel. Once again, she was a teacher, so their lessons are a little different. And so we're like, why doesn't Miss Rachel have A, B, and C? Because any parent that you speak to would say Miss Rachel is a third parent or someone that they love in the household. Maybe your kid watches Blippi, maybe not, but everyone knows Miss Rachel. So she could be bigger, if you will, doing tours of shows and having merchandise, if you will, but she doesn't. She's finally coming out with her first book this year. I think it's September, finally. And so we were talking about the differences of the two of them. Like, she still owns it. He has sold it. It is actually her doing it, all those other things. So what else did we learn about the differences?
Number one, he started his YouTube. It was just a YouTube page that he started, and just him dressing up, which is Blippi, him dressing up. This is 2000 and...
Yeah, I don't know how long she's been around, a while too.
You could look it up or something. But... we found out that he sold the rights to his show for $10 million.
Was it 10 or 100?
Was it 100? It was 10. It wasn't 100. I don't think it was 100. $10 million. It was a YouTube channel that he just started.
She started in 2019.
Yeah. So in a couple years, she'll be where he is. And if not further. So you got somebody who's done the thing that you want to do. And the problem is that a lot of times we like, what was it? I forgot what the tweet was. But essentially, he started this channel, and he was just posting these videos, and essentially sold it to, was it Disney or Sony or something, some studio or something like that for $10 million. And he sold the rights, he sold, whatever, and he's just living his life. We went on his Instagram page, and he was just in his car doing a video or something like that. But could you imagine starting something on YouTube that you didn't even know was going to take off the way it did, and being able to sell it for, I think, 10 years later for $10 million or something like that?
I told you it was something big.
He was acquired for $120 million
by Moonbug Entertainment, which then was acquired by Disney.
So Disney bought it from So it was acquired for $120 million. Wow, it wasn't 10, $120 million.
$120 million.
I don't know if he got $120 million. We got to look that up.
It says Stephen John sold Blippi in a deal valued. Okay, maybe it's not valued at $120 million. In December 2023.
So, and then they sold it to Disney for $3 billion. $3 billion with a B. So you're like, well, how does this even apply to business? I don't know. But business
this is a business. This is a full business.
Business is everywhere. And we're having this conversation like, how did they even start, right? This is one of the things we do in our household. Like, you guys may not... Like, we would be sitting there watching something. I'm like, damn, what is this even? Like, it was just a
Who is he? Because you're always like, who the hell is he? Why are we going to a show?
Because we were going to the show, and the show was expensive. It was like $70 a person.
I don't remember.
$60 a person. I'm like, this show is expensive. And I know who he is because we watched the show.
It's like 40-something, but after the fees on Ticketmaster.
Yeah, we were watching the show, and I'm like, why are we going there in person? There's so many people that's what kind of made me trigger
and then
to
the
go back. And the merchandise.
Selling.
And the glasses and the kids, I didn't know how big it was until we got to that show.
Because he's not as big for us in our household as it was for the people at the show. They clearly knew songs that we didn't know. And
we're so far behind. I mean,
Alani's
only 2, so that's the furthest we'll be 2 years in. But I came back, and I was just so baffled by how do all these people know who this guy is and how big is he? Because we watched a little 10, 15-minute video, and we came back and went down a rabbit hole, and we were like, it was $120 million. Until we saw that Disney bought it from them for $3 billion. And it was like, could you imagine?
And then it became, why doesn't Miss Rachel have this?
And we went down a rabbit hole of Miss Rachel. Like, Miss Rachel going to be able to sell her? So if you think about it like this, he started 10 years before Miss Rachel, and he was able to sell his for $120 million. Miss Rachel is where she is today, and she has the information that he had plus the information that she has today.
But she doesn't operate that way
Not
still,
yet,
though.
But it's not yet because
she hasn't sold.
Because
it
think
yet.
about it,
Okay.
when he started, he was where she is now. So she's still trying to navigate where he was 8 years ago. Her first video is trying to figure this out. Now she has the understanding that he was able to sell his for $120 million. If you're able to take the information that somebody already has,
He started in 2014.
2014. She started in 2020.
She started 2019, yeah.
2019.
Mm-hmm.
So she's 5 years behind him, but she also has information that he didn't have when he started.
Yeah, so he started in 2014. He joined the Moonbud Net Entertainment in 2020, so 6 years after starting. And then he sold to them 3 years after. So within 8 years, he was able to sell his company at $120 million.
So like our business coach,
She's at 5
Donnie,
years.
she had this lady on the podcast, and they were talking about Madam C.J. Walker, right? Madam C.J. Walker was the first black millionaire, first black woman millionaire, first black millionaire in general. I don't remember which one it is. But she was saying, the lady on the episode was just saying, hey, I mimicked her model, and I knew that if she was able to do $1 million back then, I should be able to do $100 million in my business today. And Donnie was just saying that I can't fathom doing $100 million. She's like, no, you need to fathom doing $500 million. She's like, if I'm able to do $100 million and she was able to do $1 million, you should be able to do $500 million. And now it just makes you think differently. So if Miss Rachel saw that
We're rooting for you, Miss Rachel.
he sold his company for
I think you're bigger.
$120 million. I have the information that he didn't have. I have the tools that he didn't have, the technology. I have the AI. I have the graphics. I have the team. I have the marketing.
The audience.
I have the branding. I have the audience that he didn't have. I should be able to sell my company for
a lot
$500
more.
million.
Yeah.
And get acquired for maybe $8 billion, $10 billion. So sometimes it just takes us having that head start and just seeing what somebody else is doing so that we can know what we need to do for ourselves.
Agreed.
So
we went off on a tangent on that.
That was the whole business.
I'm like 10 million. I'm like, no, I think it was bigger than that. 10 million is a lot. Don't get me wrong,
is
but
everywhere. But you gotta be able to look at what
is-
other people are doing and be able to say, if they could do that, I should be able to do this.
And I know Miss Rachel can. Okay, if you're listening, Miss Rachel, I know that you can. And I want to see merch. People will wear the jumper and the pink headband suit as well because that's how she dresses. And yes, we know that you can be as big or bigger than them. They're doing tours now. Obviously, it's not the person, but you have to license it out in order to do that, and it not be you yourself touring in every city.
So another concept that could be applicable to this. Think about Tyler Perry when he started and he was doing the tours.
It was just him.
He was doing everything himself.
Yeah.
So now people come into the game and they see what Tyler Perry is doing. Like Kevin Hart is like, I'm seeing what Tyler Perry has done with his production studio. Now I'm building it. So if Tyler Perry was able to hit $1 billion, Kevin Hart is like, y'all got the same infrastructure and I've learned from him. So I should be able to do
quicker.
more than that and faster. So
Just like our students.
So we got students who are doing 100,000 in their first year. We only did 80, and then we got students hitting $1 million in half the time that we did. It's like if we had the coaching, the infrastructure, the blueprint that you guys had, now it's like you should be able to do that in half the time that we did. It's all about taking that information and taking it to that next level. So business is everywhere. Consume what you have and use the resources that people have given you.
Yes. So thank you for listening to our 8 lessons. We didn't think of 2 more. It's 8.
Yeah.
8 business lessons we learned over the past few weeks. Make sure you are commenting with us and
let us know what your takeaway. What was your favorite lesson?
Yeah. And see you again in next week.
All right, guys. Peace.
Take care.